deliver. So if you are working, cleaning up, uh, I think the public needs people to go and help spray and all that. That is also a new job. So we have to see, because of this COVID 19, what new jobs is needed and created, and we go for that job. We mustn't insist that, well, I was a cook before, therefore I must be a cook now in the same way. No, we have to change.
Right. So as a follow-up question for that, Tun, what's your advice for the young people, for the employees today, together with the employers during MCO? So you talk about like finding new opportunities, but what do you think will be the take? What's your take on young people, the employees, and the employers? How are they going to go through this together during MCO?
Yeah, one of the things we have to accept, that if the business is not good, you cannot expect to be paid the same way. All of us will have lowered income, and therefore our lifestyle will have to change. We cannot expect to have enjoy the same old lifestyle which costs money. So when you reduce your the kind of activities which cost money before, your need for pay would be less, and you could actually live on a lower pay. That means that you not only continue to have a decent life, but also your employer will not be strained by having to pay you the same pay. I noticed, for example, that footballers want to be paid the same pay, but they're not playing football. There is no people watching, paying money to take seats and all that to watch. So how can the company or the club pay them the same amount? We all must accept that our lifestyle must be reduced to cope with income which is less. We cannot enjoy the same kind of lifestyle. On the other hand, we can see whether, if we don't get this money, what else can we do to get earn for ourselves some money. But basically, I would say this, that the standard of living that we used to enjoy before, very high standard. You know, you want to wear nice dress, you want to go to parties, you want to go here and there. We'll have to cut off on that and reduce our expenditure. So we will need actually less money. But our level of our standard of living would be much lower. And if we are prepared to do that, I think we can overcome this epidemic much more faster.
Yes, Tun. To continue on your comment on overcoming this difficult situation faster, based on your experience, Tun, I definitely I was born after you became PM for the first time. So we are, so as young as we are, I think you have went through a lot of crises, several cycles of crisis, minor, major, international. How do you think this crisis is different? How is this crisis different? And how do you think businesses or Malaysians can take this crisis into opportunity?
Well, in previous crises, we can still move around. We can do work and all that. We can actually continue to earn money. But here, you're prevented from doing work. And people are not contributing towards enriching the community. For example, if a person wants to go on a holiday, now he cannot go. When he can, he doesn't spend the money. So the airlines will fail. People working for airlines will have no money, etc. That was before there was no restriction on your movement, but now this restriction on movement is very, very important. Uh, virus diseases is infection. Cold, for example, is infection. Infectious. But on the other hand, we don't have to keep a distance from them. Although it's better if you keep a distance from them. They may cough into your face. But here, you have to keep a distance from people. You have to wear masks. You cannot work in a crowd. All kinds of restriction. So this is different from previous epidemic. Previous epidemic, you still move around, you still do work. Maybe somebody will get some infection, but it's not always fatal. But here, you have a chance of at least 2 or 3% chance of dying because of the infection. So you have to be more strict. You must avoid getting infected. That is why isolation is very important. But isolation means you cannot do work, you cannot earn money. Therefore, your lifestyle this time has to change radically. Fortunately for us, we are living in the digital age. We have computers. We can communicate with everybody. We can, like this, for example, three of us are talking as if we are in the same room. So we
Yes.
make use of this.
Yes.
You see, so if you want to have a conference, you can have 10 people on the Zoom. You can talk and discussing as if you're sitting around a table. So the whole way of doing things this time around has changed completely. We have to make adjustment, not like before. Before you have a cold, okay, you have a cold, but I try to avoid as much as possible. But even if you get a cold, it's not so fatal. But here, it is very dangerous, and
Right.
it affects the whole world, the whole world
Mhm.
at the same time, not like before.
Right. And so speaking of which, because we are now restricted in terms of movements, like what you say, I think the thing we need to avoid is being infected. So you are quite well known for being a very hardworking person, right? So in regards of that, I would like to address you in this. How can we still stay productive with high performance while maintaining this constant movement? What can we do to still be hardworking and productive? What's your take on this?
Well, we can't move much. For example, I used to visit construction site. I like to see people working and all that. That, of course, I cannot do. But if I really want to do, then I can have people taking pictures and I can watch. You see, so we still can continue with the inspection, provided we do it very properly, not exposing ourselves to infection. Then you can see what is happening around the country. We know what's happening around the world. And nowadays, the communication system is such that we can actually watch whatever is happening in the country if we want to. We can have cameras covering all this. So our information system is still intact. It's very good. In fact, much better than before. On the other hand, of course, visiting a site is not really necessary. If you have people focusing on the right, taking pictures, and you can actually talk to them, please take from this angle or that angle. So you are really doing the work, excepting you are not moving around. You yourself not moving around. So work can be done. And of course, you have more free time. And uh, in my case, when I go to office before, lots of people come to see me. You see, but nowadays, of course, they cannot come and see me. But where essential, they contact me. They want to talk on the line. I talk with them. I see members of my family. We talk to each other during Zoom, with Zoom and all that. So it is still. I'm still working. I'm writing. I'm reading, increasing my information.
Right.
Things that I had no time to read before, now I can. So you can still work as hard as before.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that's a good perspective of still continue working while maintaining this constitutional movement. Okay, so perhaps we will take in a few questions. We probably can take in questions from here. Okay, so Ton, I have a question from somebody called Lee Mei, and her question is, can Ton please advise on rent-to-rent or homestay sector?
Well, rent-to-rent, homestay, yes.
Sector.
Yeah, I think what is important, of course, is the standards maintained by these facilities. Sometimes they are not up to standard, but it's not very difficult to improve the health aspect of the homestay thing. That, for example, you don't meet your host at all. You just stay where you are. It's like sitting in your own home, but the host must make sure that the place is clean, very well clean, providing cleaning facilities for your hands and all that. And if there is a necessity to talk, you can wear your mask and talk, but from a distance. Don't have to come into the house. You just talk at a distance so that you avoid infection. The main thing about things now is to keep your distance, not to get infected. Whether it is homestay or you have rented a place, this can be done. If it is your own place you have rented, you have to make sure it is clean. You have to sanitize. They tell me that if you use Clorox, for example, mixed with water, that is, I think, good enough to clean the parts that you may touch. For example, the rail of the staircase, that has to be clean. And many parts which you will touch, must be cleaned properly so that you don't stand a chance of you don't expose yourself to infection.
Right. So again, sanitization is very important, like what you say. So we have another question by Syed, and he says that, Ton, please write your blog on daily basis, and he's enjoying your reading. And he has got this one question. Can you please guide the youth, the young people right now, on how to handle crisis and then build businesses and careers now?
Yeah. I have to handle a lot of crises. But one of the things that is important is not to be too emotional. You get upset, you get angry, that doesn't help. You look at a crisis and practically analyze the causes and find out what happened that leads to this crisis, and then you may come up with a solution to deal with the crisis. Of course, it may take time. For example, when we had the financial crisis of 1997-98, it took me almost a year before I could find a solution. But before that, I came up with a number of solutions. But when I test it in the group, they all knock it down. They think it. Finally, of course, we had this control of currency exchange rate. That solved our problem. But in all crises, in all problems, there is a way to handle. But the main thing is keep calm, don't get angry, don't get upset, and don't blame others. Try and think what you can do to overcome the crisis. Blaming others doesn't help at all.
Tun, I have one follow-up question from Ismail. So Ismail menanyakan khabar kepada Tun. Dia harapkan Tun dengan Tun Siti selamat dan sihat di rumah. So Tun, Ismail tanya, semasa MKN mengumumkan yang NGO dengan social association tidak boleh keluar untuk membantu atas faktor keselamatan, apakah pandangan Tun dalam apakah yang NGO ataupun social society yang boleh buat untuk membantu kerajaan dalam masa yang sukar ini?
Ya, saya fikir bukan tak boleh keluar langsung, tapi kena ikut aturan peraturan, kena bawa barangan-barangan itu kepada satu tempat yang selamat. Kalau kita keluar tak ikut aturan peraturan, kita keluar beramai-ramai, kita pergi hantar barangan yang itu yang kita nak hantar kepada satu kumpulan orang ataupun satu orang, ini expose dia dan kita juga kepada jangkitan. Sebab itu kalau kita ikut aturan peraturan, NGO boleh main peranan yang amat besar. Saya tak fikir mereka dihalang dalam usaha kita menolong. Kita mesti permudahkan cara kita boleh tolong. Tetapi janganlah sehingga kita pula dedah diri kita kepada jangkitan. Itu yang penting. Jangan buat benda yang akan membawa mudarat kepada kita ataupun sasaran kita.
Right. So thank you very much for that. And we have another question from Fadzil. And his question is, the stimulus plan did not address new projects to stimulate the construction industry. Every recession country would spend on infrastructure projects. So what's your take on this, Tun?
Ya. Infrastructure project ini banyak jenis kerja. Ada kerja yang mungkin memerlukan pekerja itu berkumpul beramai-ramai. Itu kita perlu elak. Tetapi ada kerja yang kita boleh buat sendiri. Umpamanya kita boleh buat planning. Itu kita boleh buat sendiri di rumah. Tak payahlah kita pergi. Dan kita juga boleh sekarang ini dapat khidmat daripada orang tertentu untuk membuat sesuatu kerja saja yang dia boleh buat. Umpamanya kita nak survey, kita kena ada surveyor. Surveyor itu dia tahu tugas dia. Mungkin dia ada 1-2 orang pekerja, itu dia boleh lakukan. Tapi dengan kebenaran, kerana nak survey dia kena keluar daripada rumah. Jadi dia nak survey, mestilah dalam keadaan yang tidak dedahkan dirinya kepada jangkitan coronavirus ini. Jadi ada kerja-kerja yang boleh dibuat, ada kerja yang tak boleh dibuat, yang perlu ditangguhkan. Jadi dengan cara itu, sebahagian daripada kerja construction ataupun kontrak ini boleh dilakukan walaupun semasa kita berada dalam movement control order ini.
Okay, thank you very much. And and another question from Jensen. Jensen asked Tun this question: how could Malaysia counter back as a nation if other uncertain circumstances might occur in the future again? Because each epidemic happens instantly and suddenly without any sign. Are we prepared and ready for others? What's your take on this, Tun?
Saya berpendapat bahawa menyalahkan orang tak beri banyak manfaat. Tapi mengenal pasti apa jenis yang penyakit ataupun tindakan yang menyerang kita, kalau kita kenal, kita boleh betulkan sendiri. Dan kita boleh hubung dengan pihak yang mencetuskan penyakit ini, because we will know what they have done so that we can avoid. Umpamanya ada tendensi sekarang untuk menyalahkan negara China. Tetapi kita juga tahu bahawa negara China lebih berjaya menangani masalah ini daripada kebanyakan negara-negara lain. Jadi apa yang lebih baik ialah kita belajar bagaimana daripada China, bagaimana kita boleh tangani masalah ini. Kalau kita kata, oh ini China ni buat salah banyak, dia tak betul itu ini, dan ini tidak mendatangkan apa-apa keuntungan bagi kita. Jadi lebih baik lagi kita kenal pasti apa yang menyerang kita dan cari jalan untuk mengatasinya daripada kita tunjuk kepada orang lain dialah yang salah dan kita tak salah. Ini semua negatif.
Tun, thank you so much. We will take one last question that I think is actually a very good question that can be shared to Tun. This question is from Fidaus. Fidaus asks, actually, with your experience, how long do you think will it take for the local economy to recover, and what the local Malaysians, what can we do to take part and to improve the situation?
Ya, kita tak boleh nak tentukan bila. Tetapi kalau kita dapat kawal merebaknya penyakit ini, maka kita akan dapat kembali kepada kegiatan ekonomi kita seperti dahulu. Itu penting. Untuk ini kita perlu disiplinkan diri. Jangan kita buat benda-benda yang akan memanjangkan masa penyakit ini menyerang kita. That is why MCO itu very important, dan lain-lain tindakan juga very important. Kalau kita ikut peraturan ini, mungkin wabak ini akan tamat lebih awal. Tetapi apabila dia tamat pun, kita tidak boleh dengan sekaligus kembali kepada ekonomi yang lama. Ekonomi kita sudah berubah dan kita perlu kekalkan cara yang kita belajar semasa wabak ini, tetapi menambah baik kegiatan-kegiatan biasa dahulu dengan menggunakan pengalaman kita berkenaan dengan digitalization, dengan teknologi baru, dengan pendekatan pengurusan manajemen yang baik. Dengan itu ekonomi kita akan kembali, tetapi tidak dengan serta-merta, akan mengambil masa.
Right. Thank you very much for that, Tun. Okay, so perhaps just one last thing right here. My question to you is, do you have any love and well wishes to all fellow Malaysians?
Yeah, I would hope that we can put an end to this epidemic as soon as possible, so that we don't have to lose members of our family and all that from this disease. But to do that, of course, we have to be very disciplined. The more disciplined we are, the faster we will end this epidemic. I hope we all will be prepared to make a little sacrifice by not disobeying the rules, and in the end, we will all benefit. I wish everybody good recovery. I wish that everybody will remain not infected, and I want to express my condolences to the people who have lost members of their family. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. All right, so thank you very much, Tun, for your love and well wishes for fellow Malaysians. So we're gonna before we officially end, I want to take this opportunity one more time to thank you for your time, Tun, for your precious time. So once again, my name is Wesley Chan. Really want to say thanks to you. And Lawrence, you want to say anything?
Tun, again, thank you so much for spending your morning with us. I think it is an interesting topic about digitalization. MyPrintis is also going the forefront with the frontliners and the families next week at MyPrintis Care. So at MyPrintis here, we wish you, Tun Siti, and your family stay safe and stay well as well, Tun. And hopefully that this will be over soon and all of us will be back to normal. Thank you, Tun.
All right. So, and of course, it won't be a perfect end without taking a picture. So, Tom, we want to have a chance, so we're gonna take a picture with you. Okay, so the way we do it right now is we're gonna screenshot from my side. So maybe you can just show us a love sign towards the camera, Tom.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you very much, Tun, one more time for your precious time. And so before we officially end, I personally want to hope all of you here stay safe, stay at home. And of course, thank you so much for your time. Until then, signing off from My Braintists. Thank you, Tun.
Bye-bye,
Thank
Tun. Bye.
you.